Hey, hi, hello, howdy, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another podcast. Welcome to the Big Clit Podcast. Today we'll be talking about clits of all shapes and sizes. You know, that's what we do here, just talk about clits. Big clits, small clits, large clits, gigantic clits, enormous clits. The clitoris, a liberal myth or fact? Who knows? We'll find out today. More on that later. Hi guys, welcome. It's October 8th, 2017. It is 8:13 p.m. right now. It's a balmy... What's the word balmy mean?
That's like humid.
Oh, no, that's not Colorado then.
It's supposed to snow tonight.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I think you guys will be happy to know. Paul is here with me again. You guys had some nice things to say about Paul.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they said some very nice things.
Hey.
So Paul is back. And, yeah, we're doing another podcast here for you guys. So, full disclosure, we've been drinking a little bit. We had just a couple drinks there. And, yeah, loosen the things up. Let the ideas flow. That's what podcasts are all about, right?
Yeah.
Get the white men together.
Yeah.
Get some ideas flowing. Talk about the clitorati.
Clitorati.
That's the pluralization. Welcome, guys. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate that. How you guys doing? You doing great? That's fucking awesome. I'm so glad that you're doing so good all the time. It's the same person every time. They say, yeah, I'm doing great, Dan. Thank you. Everything's awesome. Super happy for you. For the people that answered, no, I'm not doing so well. Sorry, man. That's rough. It'll get better. Tomorrow's another day. The sun will come out tomorrow. Plenty more fish in the sea.
Yeah. Well, not really. We're kind of fishing them out, you know.
Oh, yeah. They're washing up on the shores.
So fish kind of...
Don't rely on fish so much. Yeah. Start fucking other animals.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, find another animal to stick your dick in.
Yeah. Other weapons.
Paul, okay. What's the first animal that you'd stick your dick in if you had to? If you had to pick one. Where this is all a hypothetical.
Ooh.
If you had to fuck one animal, what animal's the most fuckable?
I've heard good things about sheep.
Yeah, that's a tried and true one.
Yeah, the Welsh.
Yeah.
All about it.
Sheep fuckers.
Yeah, Kiwi. I also hate sheep, so it'd be like a hate fucking.
Oh, hate fuck too.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I fucking hate sheep. They're so dumb.
Yeah.
That's why they're called sheeple for a reason, and I truly endorse that term.
If I could negate entirely getting like kicked by it, I feel like dick's not. No, I was gonna say an alpaca because those things are pieces of shit, and I feel like I could hate fuck one of those pretty good. But I don't know if my dick's big enough to satisfy an alpaca. Do male alpacas have giant dicks like horses and donkeys?
That's a great question. Wow.
That's an intriguing question.
Wow. That's the question of the year right there.
The important questions. Do male alpacas have giant dicks? Like
do they have big clits?
Big clits.
Big clit gang?
It always comes back around to the clit.
Clitters.
It's the world revolves around the clit. So guys, welcome to the Big Clit Podcast. This is going to look great for my formal Google review when I get enough views to get AdSense. They're going to open up to the Big Clit Podcast.
Hell yeah.
Would that be sexist of them to be...
I mean, we're just trying to help.
Be mean to my podcast because we're talking about clitorati?
We're just trying to help the young ones out there learn about the female orgasm.
And it's, how you make it happen and how you don't make it happen.
Never make it happen.
It's not allowed to happen.
It's a myth.
Okay. Welcome to the Big Clip Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad to have you again. So a couple people were talking about last time how this podcast hasn't been getting like the views that I normally get on my main channel. That's because I haven't really talked about this channel on my main channel, and I'm planning on doing that very soon. But I want to, so the main reason I haven't done that is that I want there to be some content over here for people to watch before I announce, like, everybody come over here.
Come through.
So, yeah, I don't want it to be like a fucking waste for them. I don't want to discourage anybody from coming over here if they come over and there's not any content to watch. So
that's fair.
That's why we're doing a few of these before we bring it up, before I bring it up over there. So, yeah. That's why. That'll happen soon enough, though. I think 3 is a good number. 3 podcasts before.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of material.
Another thing, too. iTunes. I haven't had a lot of time. It's Sunday right now. That's why we're doing this. But I'm kind of a busy dude. But I'm working on getting this thing on iTunes. SoundCloud, my first one, podcast number 1, got deleted out of nowhere. So, really? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Huh.
Maybe it was accidentally me. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what. Maybe that's probably
You
the
can try
best
re-uploading
guess.
it, yeah.
We'll do it again though. We'll re-upload it. But yeah, YouTube, SoundCloud, soon to be iTunes, I'm sure. Yeah, a few more plugs. Paul still doesn't have any social media.
Also, no titty pics.
Yeah,
I was very
there's
upset.
no titty pics.
about
Well,
that.
dude, okay, mate. No, we're not. No titty. Never. Don't send
I'm just
naked
kidding.
pictures
I'm
of
just
yourself.
kidding, but not really.
Okay.
But please do.
You guys can follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, Spotify. What are all my yeah dude ha-has? Yeah dude haha. YEAHDUDEHAHA. That's my Twitter, my Snapchat, my Spotify.
Your YouTube.
My SoundCloud, my YouTube. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
So let's get the that's out of the way. Happy October.
Yeah,
You broke motherfuckers. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I love fall.
It's fantastic. The changing of the colors.
The pumpkin spice.
Yeah, the pumpkin spice.
For all the ladies out there.
It's beautiful stuff. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad to be escaping the oppressive sunshine of the Front Range of Colorado.
Yeah.
It's not as painful anymore as it used to be. I can go outside during the day now.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't burn.
Even though there's people that live in actual deserts in the United States, just let me complain, okay?
Yeah.
Give me a break. I need to complain sometimes.
Dan and I are both very pale.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Particularly white.
Yes, particularly extra.
Extra white. Yeah. I know I don't have room to complain, or I shouldn't be complaining, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
Because I need to, because it keeps me sane. But yeah, happy spooky October to you guys. Hope you guys got a fucking sweet costume coming up. For the people that aren't in the United States, I'm so sorry that you guys don't take Halloween seriously wherever you're at, because I know it's not a big holiday in a lot of other countries.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, it's awesome in America.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking great
It's
here.
cool.
It's just, well, Halloween becomes fun as soon as you're of legal drinking age.
Right.
I mean, it's fun before, but there's like razor blades in your candy.
Yeah,
and there's
exactly.
a bunch of people
There's
trying to fuck you when you're a
Poop
little
instead
kid.
of candy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
People give you apples and shit.
Yeah.
It's okay, but once you hit that legal drinking age and your new candy is alcohol, like drugs and alcohol and titties and clitorises,
And
then that's when the
scantily
real
clad women.
Yes, exactly.
That's what Halloween's really about.
Amen. That's when the real Halloween celebrations start. So to those of you who are, 18-year-olds get down on Halloween
Yeah,
too.
as they
Even
should.
like high school people.
I endorse it. Just be safe.
You find that one parent that's able to buy you alcohol or like doesn't have any moral reservations, but be safe. If your friend overdoses, call the police.
Right.
You'll be okay.
You won't get in trouble, I
You
promise.
won't get in trouble. Aren't there laws against that?
Yeah, I think it's called like the Good Samaritan
Yeah,
laws.
Good
At least
Samaritan.
at universities. I know our university has one
Yeah,
of those.
it's like the person who calls and the person who needs help are exempt
immune.
from any
because
law breaking.
That's what causes a lot of overdoses, people being too scared to...
Yeah, and they throw their friend out on the sidewalk in front of
in front of the hospital.
a hospital. Yeah, train spotting them.
Jesus.
Not good. Be safe. Be sensible.
Yeah, look out for your friends.
Yeah.
They're important.
Hell yeah. Safety first, then hydration, then
Right.
teamwork.
Right. Makes the dream work.
Yeah, amen.
Amen.
It's almost Halloween, guys.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Okay, I just got
It's
my
very-
costume.
Yeah, Paul just bought his costume.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, he's doing the. I think I'm gonna do the same. It's like the typical. I'm done thinking about this shit.
Right.
I'm not putting effort into it. I'm just gonna buy something. The
Yeah.
onesie.
Yeah.
It's the way to do it.
It's so nice.
He's got a unicorn onesie coming.
Fuck yeah.
That's gonna be a good one. I was thinking about getting the giraffe, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta think about it. Maybe I'll go to Goodwill and like find a Minion outfit, do something like that.
We were close to the Minion last year at Walmart when I went.
Yeah, they
It's pretty
didn't have your
desperate.
size though.
They didn't.
only had-
That was it.
They only had an extra small Minion.
Yeah. Oh, rest
I
in
saw a
peace to the
full
dream.
Minion outfit at Goodwill last time.
Really?
Or no, it was at Arc, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it was
same
also
thing.
small. There's not many large people that want to dress up as Minions, I don't think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I had to go to this French club thing because it's required to get credit for my third language that I have to learn for my degree. And there's this girl there that was taking it super seriously. And we were talking about your preferred films. Je préfère,
Yeah, je préfère.
le film de...
The film
Whatever.
de Minion.
And she just started talking about Minions. And I was about to go off. But I couldn't do
But
it.
you couldn't in French.
I couldn't do
Yeah.
it in French, so I was
Yeah.
at a disadvantage, disenfranchised. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. The Merd.
That's gonna make me... I'm It's gonna be my motivation to learn more
Yeah,
French.
so you
to
can
fucking roast that girl and her minion
roast
fetish.
shitty French people.
Fucking roasting French minion fetishes.
Ooh.
So yeah, happy October, guys.
Yeah.
Glad to talk to you again. Something that happened right after we recorded the last podcast, it was like a couple hours after, was the Vegas shooting, which is a complicated situation, and very sorry to anybody affected by that, and that is a huge issue that we need to address in our country, and yeah, politics, getting into it. But yeah, that's is a terrible tragedy, and I hope nobody was, or at least nobody listening was too adversely, negatively affected by that.
Yeah,
hope
so
you're all safe and well and everything.
Yeah, happy October, guys.
Happy October, yeah. Jesus Christ, we're fucked. Humanity's a cancer. But that's what podcasts are for, to take your mind off that.
It's true. We're going to cure your cancer.
We're going to cure you.
One clit at a time.
Sow your seed.
Sow your seed.
We've got send your donations in. We're going to cure that cancer for you right away. Yeah. Okay. That's October. Spooky Halloween stuff, check. You want to get into some emails?
Yeah.
Talk about some things.
Yeah.
So here's our subjects right here.
Oh.
So I think a good one that we could definitely help out with is the whole like college prep situation. Right. That whole thing. We both went through the selection process. I think that's one of the biggest issues out of everything is picking where you actually want to go.
Right.
I've got my regrets about my choice, but I've also got the great things that came with it. So we could talk about that. And then I guess this kind of makes a connection to the somebody was talking about like getting to know people in your area and how to like actually get out there and make friends.
Hot singles in your area.
Tinder helps, dude. I made friends on Tinder. I've
true.
also had sexual intercourse with people, but
no,
you can make.
Don't lie to your fans, dude.
Okay, Paul. I'll be a virgin around you, not on the internet, though. Okay, we gotta be. let me look cool. Okay.
Fair enough.
Let's get into college.
Okay.
Okay, so there are a lot of fucking options. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I can't give too much advice on this area particularly. I mean, the one I'm about to talk about. Picking a public university versus a private institution.
Yeah.
That is one that's... I mean, it's kind of black and white in my eyes. Not racially speaking. I mean, like, they're two very different choices. Yeah. And, I don't know which one's the right one. I guess if you absolutely know what you're going to be doing with your life later on, you know what you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the program, really. Like,
definitely.
Big universities have great programs. Small universities have great programs. If you know what you want to do, that's awesome. But I feel like most people
that was a separate
unsure.
issue.
Yeah.
It's like, I still don't know what I want to do.
You changed majors like 3 or 4 times.
14 times. Yeah, it's rough. But then again, I know people that... I mean, we've got a friend, Thames. He went right into a business major.
Yeah.
Got done in 4 years. Yeah. And is now working like a real adult job in a business sector that he enjoys. Yeah. And it worked out perfectly for him. So kudos to the people that can pull that off. You know what you want to be and you follow through with it. I wasn't mature enough at all to be doing that. Yeah. So, I don't know. If I could give a recommendation, go to a public school. Well, I would say go for that choice. I mean, that's my subjective opinion.
Yeah, it depends on like what you want. Like public university will have more options, but it'll also be a little overwhelming. A lot of people, hard to make friends. Like smaller universities are more close knit. Smaller colleges, I guess, are more close knit communities and all that.
I like that thought on it because like I recommend public universities because there's so many people and there's so many different options and things doing so many different people to meet, but I guess that can be a little bit overwhelming.
It's where do you start, you know?
Yeah, very
How do you
true.
keep track of it all?
Yeah, I'm really, really like a stingy person. I'm very careful with money. Even though I'm not even the one fucking paying for this. But yeah, I look out for the people that are paying for it.
Yeah.
I'm trying very hard to get scholarships and everything to lessen that hurt upon my parents' wallets. But the point of all that being, private institutions are like nearly 2 to 2.5 times as expensive to go to as a public school, and you're getting the same quality education, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more personal.
Different experience.
Yeah, definitely a different experience.
Yeah, I would just say on that, my best friends, almost my whole friend group, I met my freshman year in the dorms. So that kind of thing, I know a lot of people who transferred, Dan included. You know, it's a little hard to make friends when everyone else has already like made their crew, you know, made their tight knit.
Totally.
So that's another thing to consider. Like transferring is hard.
Let's
I
dive
consider
into
transferring.
that. Yeah,
I consider transferring, but I ended up not, and I'm happy with it. I like where I'm at right now.
So the way that I went about going to college was right out of high school. I went to community college, and it was my first year. I was just really, really high on drugs all the time, and I wasn't really like taking it seriously. But then I kind of straightened up a little bit and started taking like my 15 to 18 credit hour semesters. And so at community college, as I understand it, it's pretty much like invariably nobody gives a shit to get to know you. Nobody cares because everybody's worried about their transfer. They want to get on to the next step. Community college is just kind of like a financial shortcut. And everybody treats it that way. People walk around with their headphones in all the time. I mean, you'll meet people, but not nearly the amount of people that you meet at a 4-year institution. So that's something that you got to wrestle with too, I guess. If you have the financial opportunity and you know what you want to do, I would definitely recommend going away to a 4-year right away for the reason that Paul mentioned of like you'll meet some tight friends in like the dorm life for your first year.
Yeah, also, I mean, the path you took, I think, is really good, too. If you didn't really have the grades coming out of high school, that's also something that's going to limit you. Yeah. If you don't have the grades in high school, like, I know I had fucking all kinds of emotional issues in high school that, you know, negatively affected my performance. And if I had to go to community college and taken the first semester, like, super seriously, I mean, you can get great grades.
Definitely.
You know? And then you can just transfer to a great school from there. And I know people have done that. There's been a lot of people who have done that option. So that's something to consider too if you find yourself looking at all the universities you want to and feel like I can do better than this. That's something to consider because you just take 6 months of your life at a community college, work your ass off, and then you get into a great university.
Yeah, you can knock out a year's worth of university work at a community college in one semester.
Yeah.
If you take 18, 20 credits a semester, if you're really devoted to it.
Yeah, and almost every university has like the gen ed courses, quote unquote, like the 100 level things that you have to get out of the way, and you know.
I'm glad we're talking. I've got so many fucking regrets about how I did my college experience.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that we're talking about
this.
It's
hard.
So on the subject of like emotional issues in high school, I think that like upon graduation, like after senior year, I feel like that's when a lot of those like insecurities and issues that have been holding you back kind of start to evaporate and you can kind of like be yourself. I know I was dealing with a ton of issues too in high school, and as soon as I was done and I kind of left those people in the past, I was able to like finally become my adult self rather than being like held down to things that people knew me as in the past. It's interesting stuff.
I mean, on the flip side too, I know a lot of people who got to college and were just complete shit shows. You know, there's no structure really. I mean, when you get to college, it's if you don't want to go to class, mom's not going to drag you out of bed to take you to class.
Absolutely.
I think a big motivation for people that do enjoy high school to go to class and all that is the fact that your friends are there. But guess what? Your friends are now living all around you. You don't need to go to class to see your friends. So that's also a motivation that I don't think is talked about enough. And then, just the general structure of it. It's really difficult being away from home for the first time for a lot of people, having to do your own things. I know a lot of people, experimenting with drugs and alcohol really, really negatively affects some people. I had some friends who, one of my best friends, without getting too deep into it, from high school, one of my good friends, he got into an Ivy League school and then started having issues with depression, whatever have you. And, obviously this is a very talented kid and he's really struggled since. So, I mean, even if you think you're going to go into college really strong, be careful and be mindful of your mental health. I think that's something.
Well said. That's, it's something that gets ignored a whole lot. And, I mean, a beautiful, beautiful thing about our 2017 libtard cuck snowflake society is that all of these, at least, I don't know about private schools, but all the public schools you go to, you have got on-site resources for psychological issues.
Yeah.
You've got on-site doctors that are like really super available. I'm pretty sure that therapy, no matter how, like, I don't know how great the quality is here or at any school.
I mean, I've done it,
but it's available.
Yeah.
It's very easily accessible.
Yeah, I did therapy. I mean, at our school we get 5 free sessions, so it's almost like if you're ever feeling down, there's no reason not to. Go for
another
it.
human being to talk to.
Yeah, I did it for a while. I didn't get the most out of it, partially because of the mind state I was in, but you know, I think it's really useful for a lot of people, and yeah, seek it out if you need it. Even if you're not in college, if you're still in high school or not, you know, working, I would try it. You know, there are resources out there for people regardless of income.
Worry about your mental health and your physical health, I think, over, like, it's easier said than done, obviously, but like over your grades and maintaining friendships and that sort of, it's important to look after yourself like that. As you guys all know, and we're not patronizing you, or at least not trying to, but I think a point that's really interesting that you made that I think would be good to elaborate on is the mom's not going to drag your ass out of bed to get to class thing. So in my situation, I really eased myself into the college experience, and I had a lot of time to like mature and find what I wanted to do and kind of like build up the discipline, the motivation to tell myself, you're getting out of bed right now and going to class without fucking mommy dragging me out of there. I know that there was a lot of days back when I was my first year of community college when it was really rough, that I didn't go to class for 2 weeks. I still ended up with decent grades because I was in kind of bullshit classes, but if I was in 18 credit hours of gen eds taking like calculus and composition courses and everything, I would have been probably academic probation, whatever it's called. So yeah, that's something. I mean, I want to say take it slow is an important thing, but there's also people that want to dive right into it. It's not binary situations. It's subjective.
You can also take a gap year. One of my best friends, took a year off before. I mean, this is a privileged little story, but he had some money saved up from one of his uncles was like some genius investor and like started a fund when he was born, and like of course, you know, being a good investor, it accrued money, accrued interest. And yeah, so when he graduated high school, he said, here's your money. You have to do something fun though. You can't buy a car, you can't like, you know, no student loans. You got to do something, you know, a fun experience.
Worthwhile experience.
He took it, he traveled throughout Europe and Asia, and yeah, he had a good time. And I mean, even not that, like, you can take a year, work, save up some money, you know, don't go to
That's
get yourself into
pretty specific
into
instance
10K
too.
in debt. Yeah,
You
do whatever you need.
You prefaced it perfectly, like a privileged thing. We don't all have people like looking out for us like that.
But I mean,
even if you don't, you can make it happen.
You
with
can
a gap year.
Take a car, drive across America, woof, like I was talking about earlier, or last podcast. But you know, there are options out there for people.
Hey guys, I'm gonna crack open.
Oh shit, I need one.
An ice cold. Yeah, you can go grab one. An ice cold Coca-Cola. No, what are we drinking today? This is a
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah. We'll be honest with you guys. We're drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. If Pabst Blue Ribbon is listening right now, any Pabst executives, anybody knows any Pabst executives, I'd be happy to have you as the first sponsor.
Dan would be a great person to sponsor because it's his exclusive drink.
It is. It's cheap and it gets the job done. To your health. ASMR. Don't drink unless you're over the age of 21. Drink responsibly if you are over the age of 21. Nostrovia.
Also, if you get a hangover, don't take acetaminophen.
Yeah,
it's
don't
really
do
bad
that.
for you. Really bad. Only ibuprofen. Acetaminophen is really bad for your liver.
Ibuprofen, though, is bad for your stomach lining, and I know alcohol in combination can exacerbate that.
Yeah.
You know, be careful.
Yeah, be careful.
Be good.
We're worried about you.
Just be moderate and you won't have a hangover.
That's true.
That's fucking something that I need to talk about. It's like getting drunk as like a thing that we do. I've never gotten more out of getting shit-faced drunk than I do out of getting like buzzed to a point where I'm just like loose enough to talk about what's on my mind and talk to new people. There is there's like 3 steps above that
Yeah.
that I never find myself getting to. I've done it obviously before, as we all have, but like I don't get why it happens so often to people. I guess there's the
I think it's
the variable of addiction and that sort of thing.
I think it's, it hits you kind of slowly. It can sneak up on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then also
true. I don't drink
just
liquor that often.
Yeah. Also the emotional. Yeah, exactly. Like liquor's sneaky. Like beer, it's hard to get, like, because you drink a lot of beer, and it's hard to get that.
I've been really, just for everyone's information, I'm very, very cutting down on my beer intake. It's like only during weekends.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I love beer.
See, but you're a casual beer drinker, though. I'm a
true.
binge alcoholic, where I just, like, when I drink, I get at least drunk.
I mean,
But,
I
like,
do too, most of the time.
But you drink fancy beer, so it's okay. You drink
Right.
sowies.
Right. They're good for you.
Your sowies.
Culture.
Yeah, you're cultured.
Yeah.
It's just my culture.
Yeah.
My people's culture.
Yeah. Don't judge me.
If you're under the age of 21 in America or outside of the United States, if you're under the age of 18, do not consume any alcohol.
Europe, you can do it 16.
In some countries.
Some countries.
Yeah. I know France is 18. So follow your local jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And
Just smoke crack instead.
yeah, it's legal for nobody, but you'll be all right.
Yeah. It's nutritious.
Yeah, it's nutritious.
And delicious.
Nutritious and delicious. So guys, what was the topic we were on?
College.
College, kind of, yeah. Yeah, I think I finished my thought on like getting your getting your ass out of bed, building that up. Yeah. So we covered private versus public,
right.
Community college versus four-year institution.
Right.
It's I think a point that's important to make is these are not binary situations, and you really need to look into your own situation specifically. Yeah. If money is hard to come by in your life, go to community college. Don't put that stress on yourself. If you're the one entirely paying your student loans, go to community college. It's not worth the $80,000 you're going to be in debt to make some friends in your dorms.
Until Bernie gets elected and he forgives it all.
Amen. Burn dog. Bernie 2028.
Yeah.
How old would he be?
I don't know.
Like fucking 94 or something.
Yeah.
Bernie 2028. Remember that, guys.
You happy with that?
Yeah, politics. Okay, what's the next college thing? I know there's a few more things. Okay, so if you are in the category of people that is eligible for student loans, get on that as early as possible.
Right.
Just get it done with. I know it's a fucking pain in the ass, but sit down with whoever your dependent is. Wait, no, what's the person that you're dependent on?
Your parents?
Sit down with your parents or your caretaker, your provider. Yeah. Sit down with them before the semester before you're even thinking about the semester beginning, and knock that shit out, because the longer you wait, the bigger a pain in the ass it gets.
Also educate yourself on it. I mean, a lot of people take out private loans, FAFSA, and don't know the interest rates, how ridiculous they are for private loans. FAFSA's manageable, but it still accrues interest. So think about that too. Like, if you're not super serious about this and you take a year's worth of loans out, and then you drop out, and then you realize, oh shit, I just spent a year doing something that I don't want to pursue, and now I have to pay for it. That's going to be a big bummer. So
that's another thing with community college. Yeah, it's a safety net. It's like even if you do figure out I'm not. This is not what I wanted to study. I'm now learning that you're only out $3,000 as opposed to a whole $25,000. Yeah, so. I don't know. If you're very certain, go for that. And so the institution that you're thinking about, I don't know if it's out of state. That makes it a little bit more difficult. But I'm pretty sure all of them have like seminars that teach you all about FAFSA.
True.
So definitely take advantage of that if you're around places. It's complicated. It's really complicated paperwork, but you'll be all right. You're smart kids, smart people, smart. Ladies and gentlemen,
you listen to us, you're very smart.
Yeah, you're a Mensa if you listen to us. Because we're geniuses. Exactly. We're smart boy geniuses.
We give you Mensa powers through osmosis.
Internet
osmosis.
Okay, so we nailed public versus private, community college versus four-year institution.
Yep.
What are some other things about college? Choice. I wrote here preparation and choice. I think, okay, so there's two other options when it comes to choice. You can go in-state or out-of-state. Out-of-state is going to be a lot more money in every single situation. There are certain colleges, though. I forget what the program's called, but Western University Exchange, WUE, something like that. It's like states west of the Dakotas, or maybe like including the Dakotas. You can go to some of these state schools for the same price as the institution you would normally be going to for your in-state. Like CSU, where we're going, they do that thing where if you live in any state in the West, I think excluding California, you can go to CSU. You can forego like your
in-state tuition.
Yeah, in-state. You can get in-state tuition, which is a big deal. Yeah. Definitely look into that, because ignoring it and just kind of like doing what they say and going along with the motions, without looking into these things, you can end up paying a whole lot more money than you normally would.
Yeah.
So
also an option with in-state versus out-state is community college. Out like in the, let's say you want to go to a state school that you couldn't get into, you go to community college in that town. A lot of times they have partnerships with the university in the same towns. I know CSU does with
where
Front
all your
Range,
credits will transfer
where
over
all your credits will transfer a lot more easily, and it's still cheap. And I think it's even, a lot of times, it's a minimal GPA requirement, where if you meet this GPA, you automatically get transfer accepted.
That would be a pretty interesting way to do it, too, if you were to move out of your state and go to a community college, because then you're living in, like, an apartment on your own.
As
you're
opposed
not even,
to dorms.
Yeah, you're not even living on, like, student housing or anything, so... I don't know. I mean, shit, I would recommend it if you think you're mature enough to handle, like, paying rent on your own that doesn't come out of your student account or anything. I'd definitely recommend that to people.
Dorms are a ripoff. I mean, most places mandate 1 year in the dorms, and it's such a ripoff. The food's shit. At least here. Food's not worth it. You're paying, like, $10 per meal or something. Absolutely low-quality food.
That is one more comment on the side of community college, is you escape having to live in the dorms. You can just live at home and take that 1 more year and then go off to live in an apartment with people if you have people.
But on the other side, like I said, my best friends, I met them all in the dorms in the first year, so you're kind of trading off a little
cheated
bit.
To get to know you and all the people I know in this town. I already had I had a person who endured...
You had the friend plug.
Yeah, exactly. He endured the dorms for me, so that when I came out here, he introduced me to everybody. Yeah. And now I've got a real nice group of friends.
It's true.
But it's complicated. Do what you think's best for you. Think it all through. Do your research is, I guess, the best advice I can give. So choice. A few things that I want to bring up because they were particularly important for my decision, or like things that I've learned throughout my decision. A few things you need to think about if you're gonna go out of state is, so, like, preserving the comforts of home that you have, making sure that they are also in the place you're going to. In my instance, in particular, I didn't think too much about the weather that I'd be missing. Like, I'm absolutely fucking addicted to, like, thunderstorms and rain and all that, and it's very, very dry on the Front Range of Colorado. And that's probably my biggest complaint about living here, is that it doesn't rain enough, and... I feel like I'm most, like, creatively influenced when it's raining. I don't know if that's, like, a common thing, but I write better, and I write music better, and I play music better. I don't know. There's just less on my mind when it's kind of shitty outside. So, that rarely happens on the Front Range. It's very dry, and it's very... Yeah, the weather's great. It's like 300 days a year of sunshine.
Yeah, that's the marketing.
Yeah, and see, for a lot of people, that'd be... heaven on earth. That's what a lot of people are looking for. So definitely look into the weather of the place that you're going to. Obviously, once again, don't mean to patronize you, but it's something that I didn't think about. I thought, like, oh, it'll be great that it's sunny all the time, and it's kind of like my biggest regret. Also, food. There's you can't get good shawarma in this town, and I was addicted to it coming from the place that I came from.
That's fair.
So yeah, a couple things like that. Okay, so I guess where I'm going with this is look at the town just as much as you look at the school.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the town you're in just as much as the school. That makes a whole lot of difference. Yeah. Like the music scene in your town and everything.
True.
The music scene is great here, so that's good.
It's pretty good. And Denver's close enough.
And Denver's very close, yeah.
Denver's
I feel really landlocked out here.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I like the beach. I like water, and I mean we have a reservoir really close by that's gorgeous and really fun to do stuff on, but it's not the same as the ocean.
The ocean.
The ocean. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, do your research. Go visit is a big thing. Go visit and like spend a week not at the school, just like walking around town and going and doing things, checking out restaurants and whatnot. That'll be a big deal. Yeah. I'd say it's also important for the same reason that I mean, when I came out here, I had an inn, I had the friend plug, and I think that's really important to have, like, I mean, I know it's not a possibility in all situations, but if you do have the possibility to know somebody in town before you move to a town, that makes a big difference, too. I can't imagine how few people I would know if I didn't have the friend plug.
Yeah.
I'm sure I would have made up for it and like made a bigger attempt to like get out and meet
true.
more people in different ways. But
yeah, I mean, if you're struggling with that, clubs are a great way. I feel like clubs are really underutilized in the college scene. So yeah, just show up. Like they'll be stoked to have you. I have a bunch of friends who've like ran clubs and stuff, and they're always like upset by how little people they get. That if you show up and they've never seen you before, you'll be like the star. You know, they'll be like, oh my god, wow,
a new human being.
Yeah, exactly. Fun.
And to the people who are already in college and going through this,
yeah, sorry.
Hope this wasn't too boring. I hope that you did all of the things right that we recommended, or maybe if you got different things to say, fucking throw them at us. fawdcast@gmail.com. fawdcast@gmail.com.
Open Bob's.
Yep. Open Bob's pick. Send us any kind of questions or anything you want. Any advice that you need. Please put, if you are sending advice or need for advice or you're soliciting us giving you advice, is what I'm saying. Put the subject of the email as your subject, please. That helps me go through them. So, anything else about college? I think getting to know people, making friends is something you spend maybe a little more time on. You nailed it with clubs. That's like the number one thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, just interest, you know, like we said earlier with bigger and small universities. I mean, they have almost everything to offer. If you go to a big university, if you have a small university, there's still a lot.
You can get into some really niche clubs. Or like a particular interest of yours.
It's also offers opportunities that you might not have had in a smaller town or a smaller, like, hey, maybe I want to play Ultimate Frisbee. You had a friend like that, and you never played Ultimate Frisbee his whole life. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to do it.
And I'm sure the people in that club would love to have a novice around, teach you a few things. So go for it. Get yourself out there. Yeah. That's something that, like, I listen to Bill Burr's podcast a lot, and something he says when you're trying new things, you have to give yourself permission to suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Give yourself permission to fuck up and make a fool of yourself and all of that, and that's the only way that you're ever going to get better at it.
And it's really, really hard, and it's really degrading in a lot of ways when you fail at things. But
if you set yourself up beforehand of, I'm going to do shitty, and I'm going to be okay with it, it'll definitely lessen the blow for you. One tip that I can give that's worked for me on several occasions is if you don't know somebody, if you don't know anybody in a new town that you're in, literally just go knock on your neighbor's door and tell them, I'm your neighbor. Hi, if you ever want to have a drink, you ever want to hang out, watch a movie or something sometime, I'm right next door. Here's my phone number. Have a nice day.
And I would say there is kind of a magic window for that, like when you first arrive, when you first move into wherever you are. A lot of people are in the same spot you are. You know,
not mid-semester. Don't do it.
That's a little
on move-in day, give them a knock. If I'm ever too loud, here's my number. If you ever want to join us, here's my number.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. College. What else is there in college? I think we kind of did a good. We did a good job.
That took a while.
Pick your major wisely.
Yeah, that's true.
But okay, so picking your classes, that thing. If there is one general thing I could recommend in picking your classes, picking your major, is your first couple years, no matter how boring and shitty it is of a feeling, go for your gen eds. get those out of the way. That's your general education requirements.
Mm-hmm.
Like your basic English and composition and math. Knock all that shit out.
I would put a caveat on that. I would do if there are prerequisites for other classes you want to take, I would do that. But it can be beneficial to save those because I studied abroad, and for them, they pretty much said, like, if you save your gen eds for studying abroad that aren't really, like, prereqs, like, for us, we have, like, cultural awareness type of classes, world history recommendations. So, like, that you can... That will transfer from any university, really, for those types of credits.
Sense.
So I would say that little caveat
a
right
world
there,
history class is going to count as a world history class wherever you go to.
Yeah. So that would be my recommendation. Because I studied abroad, and I had already done all those, and it was kind of difficult to get things that fit my major.
Picked classes that actually worked out that both universities offered and required.
It set me behind about a year, but it was worth it.
Still here, dude.
Yeah, still here.
We're still rocking.
The dream.
We're graduating at the same time now.
Yeah.
6-year students. Or are we 5-year? 5-year students. Super seniors?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Oh, okay. One final note on college. Something, it might be the biggest piece of advice that I can give on college in the realm of, like, classes and everything. Go fucking talk to your advisor. Make an appointment with your advisor, and then a week later, make another one, and make sure you got everything right. And if you need a third one, do it. That's what they're there for. My first couple years of college, I never met with my advisor. I was just picking classes and going, oh, this sounds fun, I'll do that. And it was a waste of time for the most part. Advisors are so awesome, in my experience at least. They've been really amazing at pointing you in the right direction. You just tell them what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you want to do, what you might want to do, and they can send you down a road that is in the middle of the two roads you might want to take. So definitely talk to your advisor as much as possible. It doesn't cost you any more fucking money. You're already paying out the ass for it, so do that.
Yeah, take advantage of the free shit.
Yeah. Oh, hell
free
yeah.
Shit. You're already paying, like, however much money, but...
Does our rec center cost any more money? You can just go in.
It's free for students. Things
you
like
want
that.
to go to Colorado State University, and you're big into rec centers.
I mean, I think most
climbing.
universities are like that.
So, well, I've heard that this rec center, it's like
it's
new-ish. It's absolutely
State
top
of the
notch.
art, yeah,
There's
absolutely.
like a fucking 4-foot rock climbing wall and all kinds of pools and shit. Yeah. I don't know. Go for it. Some kid, I posted a video a while back, and some kid commented on it that he has a class in the apartment that I live in. He's got a class on the bottom floor of my apartment, and that was kind of spooky. But if you're listening right now, hey, dude, come talk to me when I'm not at my apartment. Well, okay, maybe. Well, I don't want people... all right.
Oh, come on.
Well, he can come up once I get to know him.
Well, he needs a key card, I guess. So
true, yeah. I'm fucking locked down in here.
Yeah,
this place is
true.
a fortress.
True.
Just try and steal my shit.
Try it, bitch.
Can't get in.
Yeah.
They got fucking like 4 locked doors
Yeah.
between me and
All
the
sorts
outside.
of cameras.
Yeah, lots of cameras. Yeah. That's college.
Yeah. Sorry if you weren't planning on going to college or anything like that. That was quite the...
Well, okay, so my viewer base is not over.
Yeah,
they're
I know
not
you said
over 25. So
Yeah.
I know that everyone that's listening is either in college or is
Yeah,
before
for sure.
college.
Yeah.
I feel like, every time I've listened to a podcast or like seen videos on people talking about college, at least while I'm still in it, it's interesting enough to me.
No, I agree.
Yeah. I don't know. And fuck, it might be useful information for grad school if you're thinking about that.
True.
Who knows?
One day.
Who knows? Let's move on to another topic, shall we? That's college.
Yeah.
If you want more college talk, let us know. fawdcast@gmail.com. I'm sure we can come up with some more stuff to say without repeating ourselves too much.
Nice.
Okay, so one of the emails that we got, I want to give people credit where credit is due, who emailed what, or like say their first name, but I didn't write that down. So hopefully that's not too insulting, but you know who you are if you sent me an email, right? So somebody asked us about our comedic influences. We were talking to me because I'm
Right. You're the funny one, yeah.
No, they just know.
Yeah.
But Paul's a funny dude too, so we can talk about that. And I'm sure there's lots of similarities between us because we get along. But somebody asked about comedic influences and where like at least I like took my comedic influence from. And I would definitely say, first and foremost, I mean, and this has got to be common for lots of people, my parents were the absolute biggest influence on me comedically. I mean, I don't know about morality, because I've got some different viewpoints than my parents on a few things, not many, but comedy, I feel like that is one of the first things you take away from your parents.
Right, yeah.
And my mom and my dad are both absolutely hilarious people in two very different ways. They're absolute opposites of human beings, but yeah, that's definitely where I get most of it. Because I'm so funny, guys. I'm a absolutely hilarious person, and that's why you guys listen. So yeah, and then in terms of like famous comedians, Dave Chappelle is my number one, day one absolute favorite comedian of all time. He's unreal. I mean, like, stemming back to, I would watch the Chappelle Show with my dad sitting on the couch when I was like early middle school days, way too young, maybe even before that. Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr is one of my favorites nowadays. Louis C.K. is great, and then there's even people that don't do stand-up. Like, I took a lot from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the South Park dudes.
Right, of course.
They were the best satirists of our time, like back in the 90s days, or late 90s, early 2000s. South Park, I think that they had some really, really important social commentary going on in their show. What about yourself, Paul?
Yeah, I would agree with South Park really being a big influence. I would also make note of Colbert Show and Jon Stewart, even though I'm not personally a libtard cuck, but like the power of satire in politics I think is really important for like that kind of humor, and like world humor, knowing about cultural events, stuff like that.
One of my professors explained something interesting to me that I didn't think about before. She was talking about the exchange of why comedians exist, and it's like an unspoken exchange of, I'm making you laugh so that you will listen to my viewpoints and like listen to and take seriously my political and social commentary. It's a trade-off, and like the more and more that I think about it, it's like almost always true. All of my stand-up comedians that I listen to, I look back on it, minus maybe Bill Burr. He's pretty like leveled off, but everyone else, it seems like, has some sort of agenda that they're trying to at least promote.
Right, yeah. I mean, George Carlin and Bill
George
Hicks.
Carlin was super political. Yeah.
Both of those two, I'd say, are big influences on me, too. Bill Hicks,
I loved George Carlin.
And it's right. I never really
Rest
thought
in
of it
peace.
like that. Both of them.
So, Lou Reed's dead.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, guys.
It all started as I thought Lou Reed died in the 27s Club, and then somebody let me know that I was a fucking idiot. And then we did our podcast, and the podcast number 2, on the 1st of October, I think. And then we were talking about how Lou Reed is still kicking and making great music and everything, and he died in 2013.
I mean, I never really followed the Velvet Underground.
Oh yeah,
so
it was
my
me.
ass.
I
was like, yeah, sure, dude, he's alive.
I started it. I'm gonna continue it. Okay, so he's fucking dead. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Velvet Underground. Rest in peace, Lou Reed. What if the Velvet Underground's still making music? I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay. So, cheers to Lou Reed. Thanks for everything you did.
Thanks, bro.
Nostrovia. Okay. What are we talking about next, huh?
Oh, yeah, what's on the list?
Yeah, I think we nailed comedic influences. Somebody emailed me about, once again, you know who you are, sorry. Next podcast, I'll write down people's names.
Yeah, you always say that.
At least a first name. Well, that's part of the appeal of this podcast, isn't it?
Off the cuff.
It's the making promises but never fulfilling podcast.
Yeah, just like Dad.
Just like Daddy did. Went out to get smokes.
Promised he'd come back.
Yeah, but now he just sends me a birthday card with $5 worth of scratch-offs every birthday.
And I always lose.
God
damn it.
Thanks, Dad. No, my dad loves me. And if your dad doesn't love you, fucking...
I'll be your daddy.
I'll be your daddy. Yeah, we'll be your 2 gay dads.
Yeah.
We're not gay. Just so you guys know. I don't think... So we talked to the people about you being my boyfriend and you being my boyfriend.
Yeah.
We're not actually gay. We didn't make that clear.
Right.
It's a platonic LOL no homo boyfriend relationship.
It's a good meme.
It's a good meme.
I tell people dance my power bottom. It gets a laugh. We both make some jokes.
Yeah.
And
good. Then we have sex with women because we're manly men.
Straight.
Yeah, because we're straight always.
Always.
Don't question it.
My masculinity is not fragile.
Stop.
Not
Leave me alone. Yeah. So I don't think anybody was confused about that, but I feel like it's worth mentioning because we did in the last podcast. I was like, Paul's my boyfriend, and we just moved on to another topic.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we'll clear that up.
Alright.
Yeah. So, my boyfriend Paul.
Hey.
Glad you guys enjoyed Paul.
Hey, glad.
And he's a great addition, I think.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of. I mean, like every time I have a conversation with you, I feel like. Not that there's argument, but like you at the perfect times take a point that I make that is stupid and like turn it around and go, what about this though? And I'll just go, oh yeah, I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, that's kind of always been my thing. I always like to have both sides represented, even if one maybe isn't as accurate, but
it's particularly important for like a podcast situation too, so it's not just some like Hitler youth kid fucking spouting off his political agenda, that sort of thing.
And I mean, you also do a good job of like not taking it personally. A lot of times when like I'll do that with people, like I'll do it with people, you know, everyone essentially, and they take it very personally. As, like,
take it as a personal attack.
And you're just like, well, you know. Yeah, I don't think you take it personally at all. So
discourse is important.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something I say to people a lot. It's like, I love getting proven wrong about something. Please do.
That's the
if
best
I'm
way to
wrong
learn.
about something, fucking prove me wrong, and I'll be entirely on your side.
Yeah, and you'll remember it too. It'll stick with you.
Shit. Yeah, I got embarrassed in my French class recently. I forgot the verb for to be.
Oh, être.
Just got roasted by
être.
my professor, le prof.
Mon prof.
And now I'll never ever forget it. Je suis un idiot.
Être.
Yeah.
But it's sweet. And je
suis. This is the finest wine in all of France.
Beaujolais.
What do we got now? Okay, somebody emailed, how do I find a keyboardist for my band? I think that's something I could talk about real quick.
Wow, I've done that.
Or, I mean, finding anybody for your band. It does feel... thank you. It does feel like a daunting task, I can imagine. So, a couple different things that have worked for me in the past, worked for my brother in the past, and worked for other people that I know in the past. Frequent music stores. Go to, like, even filthy casual plebeian places like Guitar Center. If you go to one of those places and just play along and walk around and talk to people, just casual about it, you will meet people that will be happy to play in your band and that are in the exact same situation as you. If you don't have a car, if you don't have the ability to drive, have somebody drop you off and spend a couple hours there. That's what it's there for, is to like test out instruments and play. You might become a customer soon, even if you're not planning on buying anything. But that's a great place to meet other musicians, even if it is like a casual Guitar Center thing. My brother has met like longtime friends there that like they just went to go jam with each other once and now they're great friends. I've met people at stores like that. That's a great way to do it. And that's like the tried and true like timeless method is going to stores. Now that we live in the 21st century and the internet is everywhere and it's commonplace to meet people on the internet, you don't have to be. You can open it as loud as you want. So Craigslist is sketchy, like invariably. It's almost always sketchy. I've had a sketchy situation on Craigslist that I don't know if I've ever brought up before. It wasn't like a casual encounter or anything. I was trying to buy a car, and I got. They tried to rip me off, but it didn't work out.
Mensa.
Yeah, two Mensa for him. The guy was so mad when I took a picture of the VIN number. He would you could see his face fucking dropped. Yeah. So get fucked. I think his name was his fake name was Ricardo. I think.
In Chicago. That's a very fake name.
Yeah. get fucked, buddy. I hope you got arrested.
Sorry, bro.
We called the Chicago PD and we're like, should we do anything about it?
Sorry, we have the highest murder rate.
Yeah, they're like, you could report it to this division, but I imagine that they will not get caught.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we have their phone number and everything. He's like, I don't
Better
know.
luck next time.
So that was a little bit of a diversion, a digression. I wouldn't recommend Craigslist. Maybe if you're comfortable with it, do it, and you're like very savvy about it. But
I mean, I feel like most sketchy things about Craigslist are exchange of money.
Yeah,
right? If you're not
definitely.
offering like exchange, if you're just like, hey, I'm looking for
Exchanges
some
of
guys
money.
to jam with, it's not.
It's much less malicious.
Yeah, nobody's gonna try to rip you off with that because you're not offering them anything.
Yeah,
But
maybe they'll steal your instrument, but
Yeah,
just
maybe.
be safe. Keep it in your car first.
Yeah.
So beyond that, Facebook is pretty awesome. I would say,
yeah.
like, if you just Facebook search your town's name and musicians, your town's name and then band, that sort of thing, you should be able to find, like, closed groups that you can apply to be in. If you live in a big enough town, that is. That are just people looking to jam with each other. Just normal folks just like you in the same situation you're in. So that's something I could recommend. If you live near a college campus, if you live at a college, find a bulletin board. Print up a little piece of paper with little tear-offs on it and pin it up there. Yeah. It's awesome. I mean, I feel like those are the three best ways to get...
Like before, just put yourself out there.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, those are the three that I can think of.
Yeah.
Ask your current musician friends if they know any other musician friends, then get to know those people particularly. Yeah, that's I think all I got on that one. I hope that's helpful. I mean, I feel like those are three pretty obvious answers, but I don't know, maybe you didn't think of one of them. So hopefully that helps out. Hope you find a great keyboardist. Hope that works out for you. If you ever become rich and famous, hit me up. Let me know. Yeah, let me play. I'll be your new keyboardist. Okay. So I think we kind of already covered this one, but then there was was a younger person. I think they said they were like 14, 15 years old or something. They said they were dealing with like sort of mood swing issues. Like they feel depressed and then they feel great and then they're pissed off again the next like hour. Yeah. They're asking for any kind of advice.
I would go see a psychiatrist.
Yeah, we're not medical professionals, just to preface all of this.
But yeah, I mean, I have clinical depression. I have my whole life depression, anxiety, and I was really stubborn about it. I was always one of those people that was like, I don't need help, I can do it myself. But got to a point when I started college actually that I really started to seek help, and it really, really made a difference. So don't be too proud. To seek help. I would say,
That's definitely good advice. Something I don't know if we'll differ on this opinion, but so I think I've talked about this before, but I'll say it again. Any worthwhile psychiatrist in the world, because I've been to a few myself, not for any sort of like serious reasons or anything, but any sort of legitimate psychiatrist for at least depression and anxiety. I know there's other not more serious, but more let me finish this thought first before I dive into that. Okay. So any worthwhile psychiatrist is going to recommend before they give you pills. And I know that's the easy way. That's what everyone wants. They want a thing that's going to take away their issue. And I know there's lots of variables to this, but I feel like the best psychiatrists out there are first going to recommend that you try diet, exercise, that sort of thing. Change up maybe a few bad habits in your life. Yeah, meditation might be therapy, meditation, that sort of thing. And I recommend that if you are having issues like that, I recommend you follow that path before you get into medication. With that said, there are people that are experiencing these issues in their life because of chemical imbalance. As I'm sure a lot of us know, some of us don't know, but that's a lot of times, a fair amount of times, that's the issue. It's a chemical issue that's not going to be fixed by eating more kale and jerking off less and going for runs more. There's a chemical imbalance. So I'd recommend you try those things first. Leading a healthier lifestyle if you don't already lead one before you get into medication therapy that way. But Yeah, because medication, I mean, I've had struggles with it in the past. It can be very dangerous, and almost all of them, I mean, SSRIs included, can be physically and psychologically addictive. So, yeah. Be safe, be reasonable, listen to your psychiatrist unless they start pushing Xanax on you right when you walk in the door. I wouldn't trust that person. There's people that have issues with like schizophrenia and multiple personality disorders and things like that. The only medications out there that are going to fix you or not fix you, but at least mediate your symptoms to the point where you're functional and happy. You might have to rely on addictive medications, but it sounds like if you're dealing with mood swings, depressed, great, then pissed, and that sort of thing. If it's not so serious that it's like having extremely negative effects on your life where you're hurting people that you love and that sort of thing, or hurting yourself, then take it slow. Try diet, exercise, therapy, meditation, those sort of things.
I mean, I would also say, not to discredit your emotions or anything, but that sort of age is when the hormones are rearing up, and hormonal changes will definitely make your mood, that kind of swingy. So,
and I'm certain that it sucks to hear that from people, that it's just your age and that's just how you're gonna feel, and sorry, get over it, that's the way it's gonna be. But that might be a contributor to it.
But like Dan said earlier, if it is kind of overwhelming you, then it probably isn't just hormones. It's probably
there are options
you need to more seriously address. And I would
thank you for bringing that up. That's something I totally forgot to mention. Things, if it isn't a serious issue, I promise you, if you are just dealing with like mild anxiety, mild depression, not like anything clinical or like that, it gets better after high school. Yeah, well, at least you learn to cope with it better. But reach out. Don't keep it inside. That's probably the best advice that there is, I think, is going and talking to somebody. I think we've mentioned this about 1,000 times, but yeah,
absolutely. Those
it's important.
Are there.
Thank you for your question. What's your face? Whatever your name is. Appreciate it. Hope that helped with your mood swings or whatever you're dealing with. Hope you feel better. Hope you get the help that you need, the help you deserve, and I hope your insurance pays for it.
If you're not in America,
get out. If you're not in America, you can fuck off.
Well, if you're not in America, you probably have better resources. But.
True. Actually, that's okay. That makes sense. Yeah. At least better access.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wild. Well, you have better access to the things that are more commonly happening to you. But as soon as something uncommon and terrible happens to you, you've got less access.
You got a waiting list.
Yeah. Scary stuff.
A trade-off.
We all got a few things to work out politically. I think that's all of our email stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So an idea I had when I was sitting in the shower today, scrubbing off the shame from last night, is I think that it'd be kind of fun to do a Would You Rather. I think it'd be an interesting thing to do, just because it's fun. Weird. I'm trying to think of new little segments for this thing as time goes on. I feel like me and Paul go down side roads enough to edit Would You Rathers and make them if it's not an immediate answer that we can give, we might give a few caveats and we probably should have looked up a few things before I brought that up, but I got a tinkle. You want to keep talking? Well, or I could pause it.
Pause it. I got a tinkle too, actually.
Tinkle break. Everybody go. Well, this is going to be no time at all for you guys, but tinkle if you want to. Pause it. You can tinkle with us. Tinkle Boys Club. Tinkle Girls Club. Okay, one sec. Okay, we're back from our tinkle break. Hi, guys. I know it's just a second gone by for you guys, maybe not even that, but it was a nice while for us. We did a few things. Before we get into Would You Rathers, as was the plan, we've got one more subject that we wanted to talk about. So we've got a relationship advice issue. Jake sent this in. Thanks for the email, Jake. Appreciate it. So it's an issue of he had a girlfriend that he broke up with. He didn't give his age or anything, which would be appropriate, I think, to give us some more insight into the situation. But he had a girlfriend that he broke up with that was previously his best friend.
Oh, damn.
So that's I think it happens to a whole lot more
Yeah.
people than we'd guess.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense that would be the person that would end
you're
up your
most
girlfriend.
attracted
Yeah.
to,
Yeah. So I don't have too much advice on this sort of issue because all of my relationships that have ever come and gone and ended in fire and brimstone have it's been pretty fast moving. It's like somebody that I met and then it moved on to being a relationship and then ended in fire and brimstone. Screaming and not screaming ever, but just not happiness.
Yeah.
Tears usually.
Yeah.
Because I'm very selfish. That's normally the issue. But yeah. Got anything to say about it, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in that situation. We weren't best friends previously to dating, but I'd say that once we did start dating, she quickly became like my best friend, my number one confidant, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, the breakup was not fun. I can relate to you there. I didn't leave my room for like a whole semester. Very deep depression. It's difficult. It's really difficult. Especially if you do want to keep that friendship. It's hard when there's that,
That's something that you've pulled off before. I don't know if we're talking about the same person.
No, that was the dead one.
Okay, the one that died.
Yeah, the one that died.
It died metaphorically.
Metaphorically, yes.
Yeah.
So it's really, really, really hard, and I don't really have an answer to it because I'm not friends with that person anymore.
See, I don't know if there is an answer to it.
Yeah.
You didn't point this out in your question, but do you want to still be friends with this person?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a two-way street.
Yeah.
If they don't want to be friends with you, it's never gonna work.
Right.
But I mean, I guess the best advice we can give is just like coping mechanisms for a hard breakup like that. Once again, I fucking always revert in my life back to things that Bill Burr has said because he's a brilliant man. Rub one out and head to the gym. That's what he says.
True.
Go to the fucking gym, start working out, get yourself jacked, and then find a different person.
Yeah.
That's the best thing that's going to work out for you. Or spend some time alone, but do all those things for yourself. Get selfish for a little while.
Yeah.
Think about you. Don't think about them.
I would add to that. So my response, as is my dumb response to everything, is I shut myself out. I don't contact them, cut them out of my life. That might not be the path you want to follow. I would honestly ask for a meeting with that person, said person, and then just read this email that you sent out to them pretty much verbatim. Say, hey, you were my best friend, and, it was something really special. I get that we broke up. I get that's not going to work, but if we can make this work, I'd really like to.
You got to be very receptive about their feelings too, because just like every situation is going to have different caveats to it, different stipulations.
Right.
They might not want to meet with you ever again, and it may be their path that they want to cut it off, cut the fucking cord, and move on and forget that you ever existed, or they might not want to. So I don't know. You got to feel these sort of things out. And I also think that there are situations, like in your shoes possibly, where it might be a good thing to do what Paul said, might not be a good thing to do, is like just kind of, don't be a shut-in, but like just cut the person out and move on. But I don't know too many particulars about your situation, so these are things you got to feel out.
Yeah, every situation's very unique, of course, but...
Yeah, it's really difficult issue, though, because I mean, like... Fuck, I've never had, like, a platonic dude breakup with one of my really good friends. I mean, for one, I'm really selective about the people that I, like, choose to hang out with. Like, I don't know, if people do shitty things to me or, like, annoy me or... I don't know. There's a few people that say shit that I don't like.
Yeah. And
I just kind of, like, don't think of them as close friends. So, yeah, it's difficult. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I don't know, because I don't have any good advice to give on this subject. I've never dealt with anything... Well, I mean, I've dealt with hard shit in my life, but never dealt with that sort of hard shit. So, go to gym. Jerk off more. Definitely rub one out. And plenty of fish in the sea. Plenty of other fish in the sea. Plenty of other fish to fuck.
True.
Yeah. Another thing, another cliche for you, is... time heals absolutely all wounds. I know I've been through breakups where I've been like absolutely devastated, even though it probably wasn't merited because people have been through much worse than me. But like where it feels like everything's hopeless and it's never going to get better and you're never going to find somebody just like them and everything sucks. that feeling goes away relatively quick. You just gotta fucking hunker down and do things for you and fight through that hard part. It's like drug withdrawals, man. Yeah. The hardest part is the first week. And
it's a good lesson to have because, I mean, I'm assuming, based on what Dan has said before, that you're at a young age. You know, you don't want to... I know a lot of people who I feel like their first relationship becomes, you know, their wife.
It's their
or
whole
something
world.
like that. Yeah, their whole world. And, you know, to have that getting over a relationship is really, like, a good experience. I know for me, in my situation, one of the things that kept me going was, well, I'm glad it happened while I'm, you know, 20, as opposed to happening when I'm 30 and
totally.
married to her, you know, and we have like 2 kids, you know, just the hypothetical situation of it being much further down the road, much more serious, you know. Totally. I don't know how I would handle it then, you know, so something to keep in mind.
Paraphrasing another comedian, as I tend to do because I'm not clever enough to come up with these things on my own. So the thing that Paul said about it being like good practice, sort of, it reminds me of a Louis C.K. bit about your dog dying when you're young being a dry run for when grandma dies eventually.
True.
It's a way to deal with these sort of issues of grief and loss. And it's a whole hell of a lot better to practice up on these things when you're young and malleable, rather than when you're set in stone, like you're really, really dependent on people later in life, marriage, kids, that sort of thing. And man, you're going to learn a whole lot about yourself in the next couple of years. You're going to be a different person 2 years from now than the person you are today. And that person that you're going to become in 2 years might have nothing in common with the person that you feel so attached to now. So,
it's a great point.
Yeah, it's take time. Take your time. But definitely, as Paul said, if it's an option, talk. Yeah. Talk to this person if you can. Don't be forceful, don't be pushy, but just talk.
Yeah.
Don't
keep it bottled up.
Yeah. Speak your mind. Be receptive and courteous and everything to their feelings. If they don't want to meet, don't be pushy about it. Yeah. I think that's about the best we can give.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So on that happy note, you guys, let's move on. Oh wait, no. Okay. So would you rathers? We're gonna do a few of these before we end this thing up. But then something Paul brought up, which is a great idea. If you guys could email us some would you rathers, that'd be awesome. Just things we can answer, things you're curious about, things that you can get us to divulge information about ourselves, personal stuff that might ruin us, might change your opinion about us forever. But if you guys have any interesting questions about that, they don't have to be like explicitly sexual. Would you rather suck your mom's dick or eat your dad's pussy? That sort of thing. That doesn't have to be it. It could be very benign stuff, just interesting, or I don't know, whatever. Anything you guys want to find out about our inner psyche, you guys want to psychoanalyze us. I'm your little internet whore. You tell me what you want to hear, and I'll talk about it. So yeah, do that. Email us a few things if you want to. But we'll dive into a few things here. I got some screenshots of. Okay, so the first one that we saw, I just Googled a few of these. And we're getting right into the disgusting stuff. So, all right, brace yourselves. Well, not really. It's not too bad. So, would you rather eat chocolate pudding that tastes like shit or shit that tastes like chocolate pudding? It's very mature content. Okay, so maybe the picture will help there. So, I'm guessing, is it going to be more shit than chocolate pudding? More chocolate pudding tasting shit than shit tasting chocolate pudding?
I feel like it would be equal, right? It'd have to be.
Well, I feel like it'd be more interesting if you had to eat a nice amount of shit that tasted like chocolate pudding.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the negative health effects that could occur from eating shit, right?
Let's take that out of the equation. It's going to be a psychological thing.
Oh, yeah, totally eat shit that tastes like chocolate
Well, you got to eat a lot of the shit. Though. Let's say it smells like shit, though. It smells like shit, but it tastes like chocolate pudding.
Then I'd plug my nose.
Amen. But it's still you're gonna have that association though, so it's not totally separate.
I don't really eat much chocolate pudding, so I feel like in the long term.
I think chocolate pudding's kind of gross as it is, but it's
Yeah, I don't think I want shit taste in my
mouth. That's a dumb one. I'd eat a pound of shit that tastes like chocolate pudding over a cup of chocolate pudding that tastes like shit.
I just know that's terrible for you.
I would eat an entire pound of shit. It looks like shit, but it tastes like chocolate pudding over a cup of chocolate pudding that tastes like shit. On to the next one. This one, we'll go for it. Okay. I've got my clear answer, but would you rather drink? This is very mature content, guys. I'm glad you tuned in. Very mature. A cup of your mom's period blood, assuming that she's not in menopause or anything like that, or a cup of your dad's nut. That'd take a long time for your dad to save up too. Let's all just assume that it's at one time. If that's not even possible, but it's fresh. Okay, fresh. A cup in like the same measurement as a
cup.
Is it? Are cups metric? No, that's fluid ounces.
It's U.S.
U.S. the phony one.
Yeah, or good shit.
So my immediate one was just blood. It's not thick or anything. It just goes down. You can plug your nose, pretend it's tomato soup. I don't know. What do you think, Paul?
I would do the nut.
The nut?
Yeah.
That's brutal.
That was you one time, You were that. You were that nut.
I feel like nut would digest better.
See, I've actually heard the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, I have toxic nuts apparently. From the few females, the very, very few females
that have gone down that road.
Yeah, that have taken that road have afterwards said, "Wow, my stomach hurts." Sorry.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably do the nut, but just 'cause.
That's fair.
From where you came, you shall return.
Yeah. into dust you shall return. Into nut you shall return.
Into nut, yeah.
From nut from whence you came. From whence you came is nut. I don't know.
I also have never tasted a nut, so I can't really say that.
Me neither.
Where I have tasted blood, and it's okay. I would imagine menstrual blood is a bit more intense.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more concentrated, like dry aged beef.
Yes, right.
Okay.
Have some more bacteria.
Yeah. I don't know.
Some more cultures.
And there's the connotation of it's from an actual.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd go blood, cause Paul brought up when we saw this one and I screenshotted it.
What if your mom has AIDS?
What if your mom has AIDS?
Ooh,
if your mom has AIDS, you have AIDS.
Well, not if she got it.
Well, if she got it after, okay. Then I'd definitely go with the nut.
But what if you don't know?
Can you contract AIDS if you drink AIDS blood, or does it have to
be blood to blood?
Because wouldn't your stomach kill off that virus?
That's a great question.
I don't know. Okay, somebody who's got AIDS blood, let us know. Try it out. See if you get it. Take a cupful.
Yeah.
Make sure it's fresh. Access to AIDS blood. Let us know. This is a scientific podcast.
Some science.
We're trying to figure out the answers to the tough questions here. Okay, so would you rather go down on your grandpa or have your grandma go down on you?
That's pretty easy.
Really?
Yeah, just have your grandma go down on you. Then you close your eyes.
You're busting a nut in your grandma's mouth.
You don't have to bust a nut in your mouth.
Yeah, that didn't say so.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to come at least on her.
Okay.
You still do
your
it?
grandpa has to come on you.
Oh, true.
Yeah, that's an easy one, man.
God damn.
That's an easy one.
I wouldn't defile my grandmother like that, though. I'd rather desecrate my own
So you'd rather
temple.
have your grandpa defile on you?
Yeah, because he's going to be dead soon. I guess then I have to live with her through the therapy. You're going to therapy either way. You've got to go to a therapist. Yeah. You're going to be Zanny boy either way.
Yeah,
you're going to have PTSD.
Absolutely.
I don't like it, but I've got to give an answer because I'm here to entertain. Old man dick. No, I gotta have grandma go down on me. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm not sucking sweaty old man dick.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Nah, not for me. Okay, this is one that's not so disgusting, but it's actually like a provocative point.
Mm-hmm.
If you were flexible enough to pleasure yourself orally, would you? I feel like the answer should be 100% yes.
I absolutely would, unless I had herpes.
Yeah, you don't want to transfer mouth herpes to dick herpes.
Yeah.
Fuck, I mean, I would probably do it twice a day.
Yeah.
But then I look at the answers, and it looks like it's kind of like 50-50.
They're lying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Liars.
Or maybe I'm reading this wrong, but who knows.
Yeah,
Here, you know what? Let me go back a little bit and see what people said and make sure. Yeah, you've got to be lying about that. Because I do it twice a day. I do it 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. Bunch
You
of
less
liars.
cleanup too. You could just spit in a cup as opposed to having to.
Well, I wouldn't
wipe.
eat my own nut.
Well, no, I'm saying you spit. You know, you're a quitter.
Yeah,
Spitters are
I'd
quitters.
spit it out. Yeah, I don't need those extra calories.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's really good for you though, and if it's your own, it's fine.
Protein.
It's not gay if it's mine.
Lots of protein. DNA is a protein.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if bodybuilders do that.
Probably.
Nut in their own mouths. Don't waste any protein. Where is this
Hydrate
one?
yourself.
Okay, I don't know if we're gonna be able to find the actual answers, but
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah,
I think we've established.
it's gotta
If
be.
you say no, you're lying.
It's gotta be. I would do it
Yeah.
3 times a day
Yeah.
because it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That has to be it. Okay, we'll go to the next one. So we already answered this one. We'll bring it up. These are all just so fucking immature and gross, but that's what we are.
The game.
Would you rather have sex with a walrus or never ever have sex ever again?
Absolutely have sex with a walrus.
I'd fuck 10 walruses before I never fuck again.
But with the caveat, like, I would want it to be sedated. You know, I don't want to get stabbed
okay.
by a walrus tusk.
They
you
don't
know?
say that you're not allowed to.
Yeah,
But don't the
just
females
roofie it.
not have tusks?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't think
know.
they do.
Yeah, all right.
This
they could
this
still-
guy's making out with a walrus and it doesn't have
they
tusks.
they could still squash you. You know, they're big. Fucking.
They could slap you in the nuts with
Yeah,
their
I saw
big giant tail.
walruses in New Zealand. They're fucking scary, man.
Fucking spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a caveat to this of like, would you rather have sex with a walrus, and then Okay, what I'm trying to say is this isn't a good question because I'd fuck 100 walruses to
I
be
feel like
able to
most
fuck
people,
again.
once again. So,
Well, there is the issue of like it's not consensual. There's
Yeah,
no
well-
way for it to be consensual. Maybe if you get that walrus in the mood, maybe you
Yeah.
can convince it.
yeah, I don't know.
If you're nice about it, you give it a few
I mean,
fish,
yeah,
some
fish, yeah.
sea cucumbers.
Should be fine.
Give it some sea cucumbers, and you give it your own cucumber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're asexual, you would probably abstain. But
Yeah.
from
I
my
love
asexual homies-
nutting though. I
Yeah, I
fucking
do too.
love it.
I do too.
I think that's the last of our questions. You want to check the news?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna make sure that we're giving you guys a full podcast.
Yeah.
Just Googled the word news.
News.
Oh, Trump, the first word.
Yeah.
Let's look at some fucking tabloids or something. Let's check in Catalonia.
TMZ.
Catalonia
Okay.
independence, huge Spain unity rally. At least 350,000 people gathered in Barcelona, capital of Catalonia, for a rally against independence from Spain. So they want to be a part of Spain. Catalonia is Spain. Together we are stronger. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, the Spanish government could not pay 350,000 people to do that,
Yeah.
and they're not forcing these people. So,
Yeah. I mean, I think there's both sides.
final result of the referendum in wealthy northeastern regions suggested 90% of the 2.3 million people who voted backed independence. So they want to be independent. 90% of the people that voted.
Yeah.
The turnout was 43%. That's enough to merit independence.
I think 50% is normally the thing, but we
Yeah.
don't even get that. In the
Well,
United
it's
States.
clearly enough.
Yeah.
It's clearly
Yeah.
a large majority, even with a 43% turnout.
Yeah.
And the people that didn't turn out were afraid
Right.
that they were going to get the shit beat out of them.
True.
So,
True.
all right, I think that covers that issue. Yeah, they
Let's
should
go
be able to-
Catalonia.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't live there.
Yeah, and it's not for any reason other than economic reasons.
Yeah.
Like they're getting all of the money from they're bringing in a bunch of money from tourism and business and
Yeah.
exporting and everything, and they have to give all of that in to the Spanish government.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's kind of fucking over your technical countrymen
Whoa.
who are benefiting from your economic success of your area.
I mean, no revolution is peaceful, or no revolution is without harm to some group. So
Time to time, the tree
Yeah.
of liberty must be watered with the blood of tyrants.
It's true. That's some fucking
I think
Ben
that's
Franklin.
Thomas Jefferson.
Tom
I think.
Jeff, yeah.
TJ.
One of them old slave owners
Tej, yeah.
raped his slaves.
So in one of my courses, we had to watch this movie, 1776.
Yeah.
It's a musical about like the founding fathers, and they like
Mhm.
kind of, I don't know, it's played up big time, obviously, because it's a
Right, of
musical,
course.
and they like give each of the founding fathers some like they give them personalities that I'm sure don't really match up with the way that they were actually. But something that was interesting to me that I wanted to research a little bit, and I think I might write about it for the course, is in that movie, before the Declaration of Independence is signed, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin are vehemently opposed to slavery being a part of the United States Constitution. Yeah. They had it, apparently, because Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, right? Yes.
I don't know.
Let's
maybe he signed it, but I don't know if he wrote it.
Who wrote the...
Right, because the 3/5 compromise was in the Declaration, right? Or am I just drunkenly spewing?
TJ, that's the man, Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, cool.
Okay, he wrote it. So apparently, according to this movie, which I don't imagine they just like fucking make this up, there was a clause in the Declaration of Independence that freed all peoples, and like it was slavery, enslavement of black people, African people. Yeah. Was no longer to be a legal thing to do.
While being slave owners themselves.
And that kept South Carolina and a couple of other slave states from going in. And the reason that they got a unanimous agreement to declare independence from England was that Thomas Jefferson and John Adams agreed to take this clause out by request of some slave states. Yeah, so I don't know if that's entirely true. Hopefully, that movie is historically accurate.
I think that is accurate because I know for what is it, the voting system that we have,
the 3/5,
not the 3/5, the
electoral college.
The electoral college exactly was only ratified because of those slave states that have less population.
It benefited slave states.
Yeah, well, and exactly, and that's the thing. We wouldn't necessarily have America today if we didn't have that ratification, right? Because maybe the southern states don't join and then they form their own.
That is something that they were quick to say in the movie too, was like Benjamin Franklin kind of acting as a voice of reason throughout the thing, as I'm sure he did in a lot of instances in the past. He had to like pull John Adams aside and say, we need to concede on this issue to take care of one thing at a time. First, independence. This needs to happen before we move along to the next egregious issue that's going on. Went on for 100 more years, so I don't know if it was the right move.
More than that.
But, you got it done with over time.
Yeah.
It takes time.
True.
And you still got issues today, and those need to be fixed up too. But,
it's a slow process. That's what people need to remember. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a generational thing.
It's fast for us.
Right.
All the issues that we want to fix. Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Give me
damn
it.
Millennials.
This is what I want.
Yeah. But I think we do need to keep that in mind, that it's a slow process.
Yeah.
As sad as that is.
I mean, like, there's the two giant racial issues of police brutality and income inequality / like inability to access certain resources, or like, I mean, inability to get certain jobs, or like being less able to hold like CEO positions.
Right.
Those are, I think, the two big ones.
Innate biases that people have.
Implicit racism, institutional. We got a few things to fix. We're trying. We're trying. Whiteys are
sorry.
Most whiteys are trying.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I'm genuinely very sorry.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. It sucks. I think the whiteys of our generation are gonna make a lot of changes.
I hope they just don't go too overboard.
Yeah, because
what I see today, it's way too overboard.
The SJW cult of outrage, very angry about everything, angry for people movement is it gets out of control in a lot of different ways, and it's scary.
Be patient with people.
I think our generation, I feel like when all of these old white politicians die off and our generation are like actually born from 1990 onward is like the majority in the United States government, I think there's going to be some huge changes that get made.
Absolutely. As it should be. We should always be progressing our ideals and stuff like that. So.
Amen. Let's read a few more news stories and then we'll be done. Okay. News.
New?
We'll try and get some like tabloid shit. We'll talk about the Kardashians or something.
Oh, jeez. Oh, do you hear about Nelly?
No, what happened?
Oh, that's a good one to Google. So apparently Nelly got accused of rape.
Oh, okay. Let's get into this.
So he got accused of rape, but apparently from the comments that I read, people like started posting videos of Nelly like serenading like 12-year-olds at concerts.
Eesh.
Just very creepy stuff.
Nelly accuser. This is 5 hours ago, or
Yeah.
one day. Nelly accuser reportedly says Star raped her without a condom. Okay. I know that is in the law and as it should be.
Right,
that
right.
if it's not consensual
Yeah,
if
if
you
you remove the
requested to put a
condom.
condom on
Yeah.
and then you don't, which
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's totally
Even though
fair.
condoms suck.
Yeah, but everybody. Well, yeah, they don't suck. I don't think as much for the woman, but
Nah, they still suck.
they suck for everybody.
Don't use condoms.
Don't just bust nut in each other. Just do it.
Yeah, cream pie king.
Well, no, not anymore. Trump wants to punish abortion, criminal punishments. I think that law. I don't know, or that could have just been libtard leftist cuck news that I read.
Probably
But
tried to let this come news.
maybe.
Supreme Court ruled Roe v. Wade. We're good.
Nelly arrested for rape.
Ooh, was he charged though?
Let's see.
I just read the-
No, we're not gonna read that. That's fucking TMZ.
Hey, good people.
They're essentially tabloid news, though.
That's what you said
I
you
guess-
wanted.
well, okay. I mean, like, okay.
You're going
fine.
tabloid news.
We'll
you gotta go
fucking
straight
read
to
it
this
then. Well, it's either
Let's fucking do it.
It's either CNN or TMZ.
Yeah, both the same.
Yeah, it's the same
It's the
company.
same shit.
It's the same writers.
Same shit, different.
Cornell
toilet.
Haynes Jr., better known as the rapper Nelly, was taken into custody Saturday in Washington State after a woman told police he raped her. Not good. He's in jail in Des Moines, Washington, not
Okay.
Iowa.
Yeah.
I was born in Des Moines, Iowa.
Cool.
Pretty neat.
Wow.
Not that that's at all related.
Yeah.
For investigation, second rape in the second degree, released a few hours later without charges being filed, according to his lawyer. Woman called 911 at 3:48 a.m. on Saturday to report the alleged assault.
That sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's about the time that
Yeah.
it would happen, I think.
Yeah.
The
witching hour.
But according to Nelly, as it is important to get all sides, I'm beyond shocked that I've been targeted with this false allegation. He wrote, I'm confident that once the facts are looked at, it will be very clear that I'm the victim of a false allegation. It sounds like what a lawyer would say.
Yeah, but I mean, it happens.
I'm not ever going to discredit. I mean, so a big thing that I think should be around is protection for the accused.
Yeah,
as well
of
as
course.
The accuser.
I don't think
'Cause
these things should be released
This
until
woman's
trial.
name will never be put out there.
But Nelly's
Will never-
name-
But Nelly is now forever.
Yeah,
He's forever
I totally
vilified.
agree with that.
It happened with Blackhawks Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane. Yeah.
His name is forever
associated.
mud.
Yeah.
Because of an allegation, which, from what I understand, there was no evidence like holding it up or anything. It was essentially like just kind of laughed out of court. And which, I mean, a lot of things get laughed out of court that shouldn't be in this realm and sexual assault issues. But it's just a shame that even though the guy gets off,
Right. He has that
he's
association.
absolutely forever ruined.
And that's the thing. People might not update themselves on that news, right? They might say, blah blah blah, accused of rape, and
I'd
then
say
they
that's
never follow
most
up.
people.
Yeah, exactly.
They read the headline and take that as truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's sad.
I'm pretty sure they like canceled Patrick Kane bobblehead day, like on one of the games that was coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because people would be like burning them in the parking lot and shit.
And you'd be
psychos.
surprised how common that is. I mean, my favorite musician, or my favorite band, Modest Mouse, their lead singer was accused of that like in the early 2000s or late 90s, and like that tarnished his reputation for a long time too.
I've never
It's just
heard of
like-
it, so
Yeah, it happens.
it's yeah. And I mean, I don't mean to be insensitive to any side. I know
Yeah, absolutely.
it's difficult for both sides, but there is
Do
something like
you know,
the cult of outrage.
Right.
People have to keep
let
in
the
mind
courts decide before we make judgment.
there are two sides, and there is potential for someone to make that sort of thing up.
Yeah.
It does. That potential does exist, and it has happened.
Men's rights.
Yeah, it has. White genocide is real. It has happened.
No,
before.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's.
But then also, flip side, we got to remain very, very sympathetic to people who have.
Yeah, and not to discredit them, but like even I think a victim would understand that the person should have like have a trial, blah blah blah. I don't think tarnishing or putting their name out there before a trial happens is.
It's so weird
legal.
How there's so much protection for people,
right, for the victim,
for the accuser,
victims,
but then the accused is
exactly
immediately all throughout the news.
Yeah,
I wonder how that gets out too.
It's reported.
It's public.
Yeah, it's public. Yeah, it's not. There's no legal protection. Yeah.
That's something I think that would be wise to change, but I'm not in government, so what do I know?
Yeah, I don't know shit.
That's a good story.
That's lighthearted.
Well, I hope if anything happened to anybody, I hope that if this is a genuine accusation, that I hope this person's okay and not seriously harmed psychologically or physically.
Finds justice.
I mean, I know there's no way that you couldn't be harmed psychologically from such a thing, but I don't know. I hope you get a lot of money from him if he did it. If the court decides that he did it, I hope you get a lot of money from him. Yeah. What else we got? News. Any more things you know about that I don't know about?
What do you think?
Technology. You like technology?
Yeah, I love technology.
Apple's new iPhone X has a nasty surprise from Forbes. Maybe we could get into that.
Sure. Is it that it doesn't have a headphone jack? Because that sucks. And that's
I don't think it does.
Trend.
I don't think it does.
Well, no, I knew it. The old iPhone didn't.
No, I'm pretty sure I read about the iPhone X that it doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Apple's hotly anticipated iPhone X will launch soon, right? Wrong, thanks to a highly credible new leak. Highly credible. The reality is everyone who wants the most radical and expensive iPhone ever made is in for a nasty surprise. We already know that. I read the title. Let's get to the business. Kuo states that iPhone X stock will be extremely limited until well into 2018. That will cause Apple to miss its widely predicted 2017 super cycle. So it's just going to be late? That's not too nasty of a surprise, you guys.
Yeah.
I just got played.
Sensationalist
Forbes.
Yeah.
Just got played. Guys, just don't do that. Get a Samsung.
Yeah.
I know the camera's not as good.
It is as good. The thing is that people just base it off of Snapchat, and Snapchat doesn't have good Android camera support.
Yeah, they do.
So
the file size also gets just fucking sodomized when you take when you're sending Snapchats from Samsung or from Android phones to anything else. Yeah, I don't know. There is the meme out there though that's pretty good that Android users be like, yeah, we had that technology for 3 years, and then it's just like a Pepe the Frog but like 4 pixels.
Still have a headphone jack.
Yeah.
Checkmate,
Get at me. Checkmate, iCucks. Yeah.
I can listen to music and charge my phone.
So beyond everything, yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a pretty good deal, huh?
Beyond all of that, I mean, I know it is a commonly memed up subject. Like, Android users think they're a superior race and things like that. The number one thing that Android has over Apple, in my mind, is expandable storage.
Yeah, true.
It's a fucking game changer.
Yeah.
Being able to just swap out micro SD cards and put whatever data you want. My phone, I download VLC media player, and I've just got like a whole bunch of movies on my phone, a whole bunch of music, all different kinds of things. I don't have to like bow down to fucking iTunes and QuickTime. I can use any kind of programs that I want.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do recommend Samsung to people whenever they're like asking, whenever people have asked, like normally old people, like my parents, like that sort of thing, and employees of theirs and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then I also am very, very quick to mention the fact that if you've been using Apple
the transitions
since iPhones or since smartphones became a thing, you're not gonna have fun.
Right.
It's gonna take you fucking 4 months to get used to it, especially if you're an old person.
And I know Android also has kind of like a technologically illiterate mode that's just super simple.
Yeah, they do.
So
they get
it's
ease
like,
of access.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something you consider as well.
Okay, this one's a little bit political, so we're not going to get into it, but California changes penalty for knowingly transmitting HIV to sexual partner.
That's a big one. That's crazy. That should be a crime for sure.
Well, I wonder whether... Okay, we are going to get into it then.
Well, I don't know. Like, I just don't understand how that could be a crime.
As far as I knew, especially in California, it seems like you'd get, like, a felony charge for it, but let's see. The law, called SB 239, would make it a misdemeanor and would also apply to individuals who donate blood without telling the organization they are infected with HIV. That's an issue because maybe you don't know. HIV isn't, like, symptomatic, is it?
HIV?
Yeah.
Symptomatic?
It shows symptoms? All right.
Well, like, knowingly, that's the thing. Like, if you have a doctor's
okay,
diagnosis,
if they
right?
do say no... Wait, okay.
Like, if you get HIV the day before and then you have sex with someone else, I don't know.
See, it just says... well, maybe this is a
I
shitty...
thought it said knowingly.
Maybe this is a shitty article. Knowingly expose a sexual partner... Yeah, it's probably just a terrible article. They have to have that that issue in there.
We could do the whole NFL thing.
Weiner said in a statement, HIV should be treated like all other serious infectious diseases.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you would.
I agree with Weiner.
You would, Weiner.
We can talk about the NFL.
What's going on in the NFL?
So,
right now?
with the whole kneeling during the national anthem.
Yeah.
So today, Pence went to Indianapolis Colts game and then left as soon as he saw one player kneel, which is so ridiculous.
It's a publicity stunt.
It is a publicity stunt because
he knew he was gonna fucking walk out.
Yeah, and the thing that's really insulting about that is that when a government official goes to one of those games, you have instant taxpayer dollars spent.
That's
Secret
what
Service,
I saw about it.
Yeah, Secret Service, blah blah blah. All these extra security
flying
measures.
there in a private jet,
yeah, exactly.
Air Force One.
Yeah, just to make a political statement of I don't agree with this when you could just say I don't agree with this, which is your right to say, which is fair. But I don't know.
That's a difficult.
I feel like it puts you on the wrong side of the argument immediately.
The estimate that I saw, which granted this is not verified by sources or anything, I did see the math on it. On like flights from this place to that place. Is it Air Force One or is there like an Air Force Two?
I don't know. I know Air Force One is definitely the presidential.
Let's see. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth too much because I know I do it pretty often.
Yeah.
Come on, please Google internet thing. Air Force Two. Air Force Two is the air traffic control call sign held by the United States Air Force carrying the U.S. Vice President. He gets his own plane, of course, because why would they both be able to sit
so
in
I'm
the
sure
same
it's
plane?
similar pricing.
Yeah,
for both.
but the estimate that I saw, which may be high, maybe low, was $250,000 because he flew there,
and then flew back.
stopped, flew somewhere else, and then had another flight after that to get back to where he came from.
Ridiculous.
$250,000 to go to a game and then be too snowflaked by people kneeling.
Yeah, which you know is going to happen.
The protest isn't about the flag. It's not about the flag. They're protesting a different issue. They're not protesting the flag.
Yeah.
That's my thought on that.
Agreed.
Everybody needs to fucking calm down. I mean, the people that are it's the right to protest. That's the number one thing. If you are a true red-blooded American, I think you should be sympathetic to people.
Burn the flag on the sideline if you want to.
Yeah, you should be able to.
It's your right.
But then, I mean, at the same time, the people that are upset about it should be able to be upset about it.
No,
but
true.
You shouldn't be able to spend taxpayer dollars on you being mad.
Yeah.
I'm really upset, so I'm gonna spend $250,000 because I was really snowflaked, and then be mad at people that are snowflakes on the other side. Yeah, difficult. I don't know. Difficile.
Très difficile.
Okay, we'll go one more news story. How's that? And then we'll be done for the evening. It's now 10:06 p.m. on October 8th, 2017. You can hang out for as long as you want. I mean, I've got shit to do tomorrow, but it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, I'm not too fussed.
U.S. and Turkey announced tit-for-tat travel restrictions. Great. Fucking Jesus Christ. You guys see the Trump paper towel meme? That's a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah, throwing paper towels? Kobe?
Well, he was Kobe balling him into the crowd.
Amazing.
Jesus Christ.
How presidential. The world.
As shitty as the situation was, it's pretty funny.
It is hilarious.
Everything
I
that
agree.
came out of it was pretty funny.
I agree. Good memes.
Good memes.
It's a good president for memes, at the very least.
Sports. Who cares? Science. Okay, we'll do a science thing.
I like science.
After a month off, SpaceX returns with 2 launch attempts in 3 days.
Wow. Elon Musk. Dude, I hope they put the Hyperloop into Colorado. That would be sick.
Is Colorado like one of the candidates?
One
for
of
it?
the leading candidates, just because of how like our cities are laid out. It's like
Dude,
all in a
from-
straight line
yeah.
from Fort Collins to Colorado Springs.
I remember
the four
one of my
main cities.
professors was talking to me about like how in the 60s they had a plan to
Yeah.
build a train track from like Fort Collins to Denver down to wherever is
Colorado
south,
Springs,
Colorado
yeah.
Springs, yeah. And apparently he told me, once again, he didn't cite any sources or anything, but he said like it was supposed to cost, he said it very sarcastically, some crazy amount of money, like fucking $25 million at the time,
Right.
which is like in the 60s.
Right.
So that now, after inflation and everything, and I mean, I guess the state has more money than ever, but it was way more achievable for it to happen back then, and they blew it off.
Well, but that wasn't like a hyperloop. That was just
It was just a
regular
train.
rail.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
saying this is a state that particularly has a big travel deficit, in that if you want to get to Denver from Fort Collins, if you want to get to Denver from Colorado Springs, you need a car.
Yeah.
You need a car, and that causes so many
of course.
cars to be on the road. I'm sure. So they added a train system that runs from Denver International Airport into Denver. That probably cut down on the amount of cars that are parked at DIA by a ton.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the actual numbers on it, but I think public transportation is such an important thing.
Absolutely.
Like every single time, even if it's like a shitty bus that smells like pee-pee or like
Yeah.
terrible fucking trains, the L in Chicago,
Yeah.
it's so damn convenient, and
Yeah.
it beats the hell out of taking a car anywhere.
Yeah.
And that would change Colorado's entire image
And the
if you
whole-
were able to
yeah.
get from town to town with public transportation.
And the whole thing with it is like the Hyperloop would take like, I think it's like 10 minutes from like Fort Collins to
yeah,
Denver.
it's craziness. Yeah,
Something like that,
a ride
5
that
minutes.
takes an hour and 20 minutes.
Right,
normally.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that just
without
makes it,
traffic.
That makes it just mandatory at that point, you know.
Mhm.
It just cuts down on emissions, all that. Because Hyperloop is all magnetism, right? So,
Why is this a thing that's still like up for debate?
well, I think the whole thing that, from what I remember, that Elon Musk was discussing with the problem is that the technology to drill that deep down
Yeah.
to where you could make a Hyperloop is not really there, but he says he has the technology.
Technology to make it happen.
Yeah, to make it happen for like 1/10 of the cost or something. From what I understand,
Mm.
I don't know for sure if I'm just spouting off my ass, but from what I remember reading,
So like 80% of the project is figured out. I'm sure.
yeah. So I don't know. It's a matter of funding and all that.
We won't get funding.
Yeah,
In this administration, I don't think funding's happening. We got to burn
Yeah.
up the oil first,
that's true. That's God intended.
as God intended.
Yep.
Go forth and multiply.
Yeah, and burn fossil fuels.
Didn't God give us all the animals on Earth and everything
Yeah, he does.
to murder?
Yeah, exactly. It's all right.
It's all right.
We're in God's image, so we got to kill everything that's not in God's image.
Got him. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. That's about that. Thanks for tuning in. I had a lot of fun this time. This was really great. I had a lot of fun all the other times too, but this one was very fun too.
Yeah.
I think we're settling into the groove pretty well.
This one was a little more somber than the last one, but
Yeah. Well, we talked about some fun stuff.
it's true. True.
So yeah, you know what? We're gonna end it there. It's been fun, guys. Thanks so much for coming to hang out.
Suction.
Oh yeah, we've got to
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.